So today isn't starting out exactly the best. Both of my cars are currently out of commission. We got a flat tire on the Supra and the GTR's license plate is expired. So that expired the end of January. On the 25th though, I paid the registration fee to get everything up to date. However, I'm still waiting on the DMV to mail me my new tag and all the information. And then in the Supra yesterday, I hit a nail right in the driveway. It was my own fault, and yeah, now we got a flat tire. As you can see, we are running with like no air pressure, nice and flat. Kind of sad to see the Supra sitting like this. And if we go inside real quick, I can show you what it looks like on the screen. As you can see, we are rocking 8 PSI right now for that left rear tire, and it dropped really, really fast. I know I hit the nail right at the edge of the driveway, and within less than a minute, we had already dropped 10 PSI. So I definitely could not drive this to the shop. Even if I used a spare tire kit to inflate it, it wouldn't have got me out of the neighborhood. So we're gonna get that fixed. Tread Connection is coming out. They're gonna show us how to patch it. We're gonna get that done real quick and then start talking about the GTR, going over some of the cost, how much does it cost to renew registration, and then we're even gonna get into insurance pricing because I actually updated my insurance on all my vehicles and saved a ton of money, and it is now even cheaper to own these cars. So we're gonna get into all that in today's video. Let's fix the Supra and get these cars back on the road. All right guys, so Tread Connection is here working on the tire, and actually that wasn't even my own nail, so it wasn't my fault. It's a screw, don't know where that screw came from, but he's gonna go ahead and get it off. And the cool thing, and this is why we only call Tread Connection for any of our tire needs, everything that he's gonna do, nothing touches the wheel, everything will be 100% perfect and literally not damage anything. So anyway, check them out, I'll have all their information in the description below. Well, there we have it guys, a 2-inch decking nail. So now he's gonna drill it out to make it a little bit smoother, that way we can fill it all in.
This is the glue. Put a little bit in the hole.
All right, so then we have this plug. So it's got like a metal lead to help it get in there. And that's got glue on it as well, so it sticks.
Yeah, super thick.
The last step, just some tire sealer to adhere everything nice. And then we just cut off the end and that's pretty much it.
Yep, that is it.
Very cool. So with that all done, you're just gonna reinstall everything and balance it up, and we are good to go for the Supra. So huge shout out once again, and thank you to Tread Connection for coming out so conveniently to get the tire all repaired on the Supra. That's one thing why we love working with these guys. It's so convenient, because technically, even though of course I could drive the GTR, but technically I can't. It's nice that if you're stranded at home like I technically am, it's nice to have the convenience of them coming out and fixing everything for you right in your own home. Even mounting and balancing, they do all wherever you work or live or anything like that. So now let's wait on the mail and get the GTR legal. All right, so our timeline is a little messed up. The clips that you just saw were filmed 3.5 weeks ago. It has been a little bit off camera. Of course, for you guys, it's been 5 seconds. So we got a little bit of odd news for the GTR. As you can see, we got 3 license plates here. So a week ago, I drove to the tag office because I still had not received my new tag for the GTR. I drove it a little bit here and there. I didn't have to really drive it too much since, of course, Mike's had his cars and I had the Supra. But I went to the tag office, I explained that I still have not received anything, so they gave me a new tag and all my registration, and I got the new tag. And then yesterday, which was then a week after I got the new one, in the mail, my tag shows up. So as you can see, we have the one that came in the mail. It's so the car would always be asking a question. Of course, my old one right here, which is crazy dirty under the frame. Of course, that straight pipe life. And then the one that I got at the actual tag office, I already went ahead and put this on. I put this on 2 days ago. Sticker and everything. We're gonna be jamming in the GTR, but I put this one on just because I had to go to the airport yesterday, and crazy enough, on the way to the airport, I had a police officer following me on one part of the highway. And for those of you who do remember, about 1.5 years ago when I bought the Supra, when I got my tag, I chose not to put on the new tag because I wanted to save it for the next day to film a video, taking it out of the packaging, putting the sticker on for a video, and I got pulled over that night because I had my temp tag on the day after it expired. I would have got pulled over, no doubt, if I still had my tag on this car. So it worked out that I was at least responsible and put the new tag on. I didn't get to film for this video, taking this out, putting the sticker on like I kind of wanted to, but it probably wasn't worth the risk. So anyways, now I gotta go back to the tag office. Technically, I have to return this tag anyways. They said I don't really have to, But at this point, obviously I'm gonna go there and return both of them and just get that all squared away. It's funny how I have the registration for each of these different license plates, but I don't really know which one 100% is gonna be correct. So I'll go there, get that straightened out. At least it only took like 20 minutes to get it squared away the other day, but not too bad. But that's the situation. GTR is now 100% legal. We're good to go. Now let's head over and talk about how much it's costing to do all this. All right, so with all of that out of the way, the Supra is back on the road with the fixed tire. Of course, I've been driving it around for the last 3.5 weeks. The GTR, about a week and a half ago, I actually hit 40,000 miles on it. Still running strong. I made an Instagram post when that happened. So with all that said, we're gonna get into the cost. So on the GTR, the appraised value from North Carolina is $43,330. Now, don't let tax value get you worried about the value of your car. This is still worth 70 grand. It's just the tax value because it still is an 8-year-old Nissan or whatever. That's what they appraise it at. And with that, it makes it to where the taxes on this car are pretty cheap. So to get everything squared away, it was a whopping $310. Last year, I think it was like $370 or something like that. But not too bad to register the car for another year. Pretty cheap overall for actual running costs owning this car. So that's that. Now onto insurance, because I mentioned that I redid my insurance. So I used to be with Geico. They wanted to raise my rates and I wasn't exactly a fan of that. So I switched over to Erie Insurance, and actually one of my good friends owns a local branch and he really hooked it up. All the same coverage that I had, everything that I should have to have these cars, full coverage and everything. So the new premium for a full year on the GTR is $1,002. $1,000 a year to insure this car, full coverage. Underinsured and uninsured, I have like one step above recommended just in case. The Supra is a little bit cheaper at $669, and then my Yamaha R6, my motorcycle, is $86 for the year. So I'm now paying $1,800 for the entire year for all three of my vehicles. I used to be paying, including the bike, it was closer to like $2,500 a year. So super cheap to own. Like I've said in multiple videos, there's a lot of things that go into insurance prices and why it's that cheap. I know I've seen so many comments on previous videos, people paying like $500 a month to insure their car. I would not even own this car if it was that expensive. That is just ridiculous. I've been driving now for almost 12 years. I have a perfectly clean driving record. No tickets, no accidents, nothing like that. I pay in full. Luckily, I was able to pay once a year now. With Geico, I could only go up to 6 months. So I like being able to pay in full. It's just easier that way. And since I paid in full, that even took my rate down by $200. So if you pay it all in one lump sum, you're gonna save money. I also have the highest deductible, $1,000 deductible. That's really nothing to worry about. And when I first bought the car, I actually calculated it, I would have needed to go 8 months without any accidents or any claims, and I would have recouped that $1,000 that I would spend if something happened. So a lot of people, they like paying month to month and having the lowest deductible possible. If you just are really careful for the first 8 months, you'll recoup all that money and save a lot of money over time. 3 years later, I've saved over $3,000 by just having the highest deductible alone. And clearly that covers that $1,000 deductible if I have to use it. And then on top of that, I believe your credit score makes a difference, and zip code and things like that. Annual mileage also is affected. My cars, I have them at less than 6,500 miles a year because I don't drive that much per vehicle. I have 3 vehicles. I average about 5,000 on this car, around 5,000 on the Supra, and like 3,000 on the bike. And I live with my brother, and he has 2 cars, and half the time we're in his vehicles. So needless to say, I have a lot of vehicles at my expense to drive around and be in. You know, if my brother and I are filming a video and we're taking his vehicle, my cars don't even get moved. So there's a lot of factors of how you can have insurance cheaper. Of course, your own driving, you know, if you have one car and you drive to work every day and you rack up 10,000 miles a year, it'll be a little bit different. But your deductible, how often you pay, you know, your driving record, your credit score, those are all things up to you. So if you get those in better standings, you'll save a lot of money. But yeah, that is how much it costs to own the GTR. Another year under my belt with this vehicle. It's been a beast of a car. $1,000 on insurance, no big deal there. I think that is everything on this one. And then yeah, registration, $300, super cheap. And we finally got the tags. We are back in business to drive the car. And then as a mini update on the E85, we pretty much dialed in all the data logs for the fine tuning of the highest content that I've been able to get at. I'm at 70% ethanol content, and the car is so crazy fast. And having the clutches adjusted to the +4 on the cop access port, which I have a whole video on that if you missed it. Everything's shifting really good, super solid. It was actually slipping the transmission. I didn't really understand that when I made that one video, but with the clutch capacities higher up, there's no more slippage, and it's super solid. And I've read a lot of forums saying that once you go E85, your clutches will slip a little bit, so you're gonna have to adjust that a little bit. But anyway, I think that then is gonna wrap up today's video, going over the cost of the car, a little bit on the Supra as well, but mainly focused on the GTR. Comment down below, what do you guys think of those numbers? Were you expecting more or less? For those of you with GTRs or other really cool cars like this vehicle, what are you paying? I don't think this car is too expensive to own, and the fact that it has actually appreciated in value. If you look at the used markets, this car, like it's sitting with the mileage, is going for around $70,000. I paid $67,000 3 years ago. So this car has been a very good car. It's appreciated, which is very hard to find. Most cars don't do that, of course. I have no complaints. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and smash the subscribe button. I'll see you guys next video.